So that was strike one with the disrespect. I'm like, nigga, you proposed to my girl? Strike one. You came up to the church looking for me? Strike two. And you shot my truck up? I'm like, oh no, I gotta deal with this now. Nobody said this walk would be easy, but you gotta fight the good fight. 4-7, get up, check it out. Now I'ma share something with y'all, man. This was a dark time for me between the end of 2014 all the way up to, I would say, like the end of 2017. Like it was hard, man. It was a hard time. And it started with this young lady. Excuse me. Started with this young lady I was dealing with, because we had started the church in 2014. It was Mo. I'm gonna use names so that people don't get mixed up when I'm saying, trying to get a story. It was Mo, Joaquin, and myself. And I started dealing with this young lady that had came to the church. Somebody brought her to the church, but we started talking and we started dealing, and then we ended up sleeping together. And so I confessed that to my brothers and this and that. I'm gonna go through it fast. I'm not going into too much detail with it or whatever, but I'm just gonna hit the points that really had an effect on it. So me and her sleeping together, that was big. That was something big as a leader in the church or whatever. Like, God humbled me for real with that. Like, nigga, you can't talk about no Jamal Bryant's. You ain't got no place to talk about no Ty Tribbett's or no Eddie Longs or whatever they do. Like, now you done experienced. Now we ain't got no big church, but regardless, like, you supposed to have some kind of reverence for God. You supposed to be revered in the church or whatever, and you laying with somebody in the church. I'm like, so that kind of beat me up or whatever a little bit. But I confessed to them, and our relationships after that started like going like this, and we was tight. Cause a little backdrop, we used to have a Bible study, and so we actually like did life together. Like our Bible study we had, it wasn't a church's Bible study. It was just people from like different churches and everything, or people that didn't go to church. They would just come to the Bible study in Miss Jackie basement, and it was like home. And we did things outside of that. Like, we go bowling, we play cards, we go to each other's houses, stay the night or whatever. Like, we actually did life together. So it was like a brotherhood, not a church, you know. I mean, that's what church is supposed to be, but it wasn't the idea of church today. It was like we was actually doing life together. And so when this thing happened, a certain string of events took place, because really this testimony will have to be broken up into several parts, because it was a whole lot that happened between 2014 and 2018. But just for the sake of time and for this right here, like, our relationship really started to get rocky, and then to the point to where there wasn't a relationship, because I slept with a young lady. Boom, that was the start of it. Young lady had a baby father that wasn't over her. I didn't know this at the time. I thought that, you know, she just had a baby father and they co-parented, but apparently he wasn't done with her. And I guess I was the first person to pose a threat in the manner of where now she's getting into another relationship. So they ain't been together in years, but she never had another man in her life. And so I guess I was that threat, and things got real for him. And so, man, a whole string of events happened to where the Joker ended up coming up to the church looking for me one Bible study night and this and that. And then I get a call from Mo, and Mo like, what's going on? It's like 12:30 at night or 1 in the morning. I'm like, he wake me up. I wasn't at Bible study that night. That one night, I just happened to miss Bible study. And I know that was all God. But because Bible study, the church we was at that time was around my neighborhood. So it could have got real bad. But he come looking for me there, Mo, like, what's going on? And me and her wasn't even talking at the time. Like, because this happened in 2015. But you know how relationships be. Like, y'all going smooth and then you ain't. Me and her ain't been talking for like a good 2 months at this time, 2 or 3 months. And he comes to the church looking for me. I don't know why. I guess they still having arguments about me, even though I'm not in the picture. And I guess whatever she said to him must have pissed him off, or whatever she did must have pissed him off. But he came looking for me, and Mo saying, what's going on with you and Shorty? I'm like, nothing. Like, why what's going on? She like, her peoples came up to the church tonight looking for you. And I'm like, what? Pissed me off. Pissed me off instantly. And so my reaction, I like to face things head on. Like, I'm not the type person, I don't like to let things like fluster. I don't like to let things just float over your head and you be in speculation about things and thinking about this. Like, I hate that having that mindset where I'm always thinking about something not knowing what it is. And so I'm like, well, I'm gonna call this nigga tomorrow. So I called the dude, Excuse my language. This is me back then. So I called a dude the next day. Like, I get his number from somebody. I called him the next day. Said, hey, man, give me a call. Heard you looking for me. Left a voicemail. He ain't answered. He called me back like around 7 something, and we talked. And we talked, had a like slow dialogue for about 30, 40 minutes or whatever. And it ended basically with, look, I don't know what's going on, but she just gonna have to choose who she wanna be with. Me and her not talking at the time now. But I'm like, that's her decision. Like, I ain't got no control over it. Like, I guess he feel like I'm probably telling her things or feeding her things against him. But me and her ain't even really talking. We ain't been talking. And so Mo calls me the next day and he like, man, AJ, like, I don't know what's going on, such and such, but as long as you talking to her, I'm about to ask you to stay away from the church. And I'm like, wow. Like, in my mind at this point, she ain't had nothing to do with nothing. Even though I'm not talking to her, I just feel like, dang, this man really think he got control over my life. Like, you really think you could tell me to boom, boom, this and that? And so I stayed away, not because I was talking to her, because I wasn't, but I was just like, dang, like, Slim just pulled a cold boss up move on me and so that really kind of put a fork in our relationship. So I stayed away from the church and all that. Boom. Stayed away for some time. This happened in about August of 2015. So in November, we always have little turkey drives and all that, little giveaways at the church. And so I started trying to creep back in or whatever, because I love these people. Like, I ain't going to no other church. Like, I know that these people know God. I know that they love God. And so I still love these people, whatever. Our relationship just ain't there no more. And so I go to the church just to give my gives and this and that, such and such or whatever. And I see him up there. Now, I don't know if he knows me. I don't know if he know what I look like. But when I seen him, he ain't look at me like he knew who I was and everything. But I just like eyed him down to his car. And so that probably put him on point or something. I don't know. But I go in, boom, it was nothing there. So, mind you, me and her still not talking. December come along, she hit me out of the blue like, hey, can we talk, this and that? And I was like, yeah. So she's like, I wanna come past to talk to you. So she did, came to my apartment, and we talked. And then it just got late, and so she just ended up staying the night. We ain't do nothing, like, we just talked, and she stayed the night or whatever. The Joker shoot my truck up that night. Things happen, and I ain't gonna go into too many details with that, but he ended up shooting my truck up. And so now that's 3, like, that was like the third straw. I didn't tell y'all when we first started talking to her and everything, and I had confessed to them that we slept together. I ended up going to Vegas, getting away or whatever. Me and her were still together. Ended up going to Vegas, and then when I came back, he proposed to her, and I had left her alone because of that, so that they could try to work things out, because I already felt like things had changed between me and her or whatever. I felt it in my spirit, like something changed. So I left her to that. So that was strike 1 with the disrespect. I'm like, nigga, you proposed to my girl? Strike 1. You came up to the church looking for me? Strike 2. You shot my truck up? I'm like, oh no, I gotta deal with this now. Now my relationships with my men ain't the same. Like, it's crazy, because I already been asked to stay away from the church, which I felt was wrong. Like, I ain't do nothing wrong at that time. Like, I wasn't still sleeping with her or nothing. I wasn't in sin. I wasn't doing nothing wrong. You telling me to stay away to church? I'm like, dang, really? So that, like, that started sauteing it. Like, our relationship is on the grill right now. It's like a steak on the grill. That joint sizzling. Boom. That started cooking it. Then the situation happened, and then I'm getting a call from Joaquin saying, AJ, man, I'm gonna have to ask you stay away from the house, stay away from the family, this and that. I'm like, God, what? Boom. Junk cooking. It's cooking. It's medium rare now. It's medium well. And then Monty, my man Monty, hit me my shotgun over Monty house. Monty like, man, AJ, I need you to come get your stuff. I'm like, dang, this is Bama's excommunicating me? Like, what's going on? I felt like Bama's just turned their back on me and just left me out there. And so I already done lost my girl. This Bama done shot my truck up. And so, mind you, that pissed me off even more, because I don't care about material stuff. Like, everything is replaceable. I don't care. I really don't care about too much of nothing. But my insurance, this is funny. My insurance went from $130 a month to like 5 something a month. And State Farm dropped me. And then I got, at least I found Geico, they charged me $370. And so I went from $130 a month to $370 a month because of this. It was $20,000 worth of damage to my truck. Like, bullets all up in my engine and this and that, such and such. So my insurance done went up on my truck. I don't got my truck now and everything, this and that. And I'm hot now. I'm like, all my relationships gone. I'm like at the point where I ain't got nothing. I'm like, the people that I held dear to me turned my back on me. Ain't nobody really stayed next to me except my brother, except Wah. Wah was the only one that was like, look, man, was like, look, I'm here with you. Like, you need me to come stay with you. You think Slim gonna be a problem? Like, nah, we good. Like, he like, bro, just holler at you if you need me. And I'm like, that I appreciate. It ain't about loyalty to me, because I'd rather you be loyal to God than be loyal to me. But it was just knowing that even still, somebody had my back through this. Like, they ain't just kicked me to the curb. And I felt like that's what everybody else was doing. And so that played on my mind also. So I was just in a real dark place. And I could not, I'm still praying or whatever. I went into prayer, fasting and all that.